对面公路俺挖，那边房子都这个。对面公路俺挖，那边房子都这个，俺上来好高哦。
We build our cities as monuments to our own power. We raise skyscrapers of steel and glass that pierce the clouds, confident in our mastery over the world. We engineer complex systems, subways that snake beneath the earth, highways that form concrete arteries, and grids that power millions, believing we have tamed the forces of nature. This past July, the city of Beijing, a global titan, a modern marvel of 21st century engineering, was brought to its knees. What began as summer rain quickly became a siege. Fed by the remnants of a typhoon and supercharged by the monsoon, a deluge of biblical proportions was unleashed. This was not merely a storm, it was a verdict. It was nature's judgment on our arrogance, and it is a warning that should echo in every city across the United States and the world. Imagine rainfall so intense that it's measured not in inches, but as a cascade. Over 68 millimeters, nearly 3 inches, of rain fell in a single hour. The city's multi-billion-dollar sponge city defenses designed to absorb water were overwhelmed in moments. Retention ponds became overflowing cauldrons. The very infrastructure designed to keep people safe became a series of traps. Underpasses turned into deadly water-filled tombs. Subway entrances, the gateways for millions of commuters, transformed into gushing wells, flooding the platforms and paralyzing the entire transit system. On the streets, chaos reigned. Cars were swallowed by flash floods that rose from ankle-deep to waist-deep in mere minutes. Below ground, in the warrens of tunnels, shopping malls, and parking garages that define a modern metropolis, a domino effect of catastrophic flooding began. The city's concrete heart, once a symbol of strength, became a helpless surface against the vertical flood pouring from the sky. But this was not some random act of God. To call this a simple, natural disaster is to willfully ignore the truth. The science tells a clear and terrifying story. This event was forged in a crucible of our own making. For weeks, a suffocating heat wave, a direct consequence of a rapidly warming planet, had baked the city. This created a dome of superheated moisture-laden air, a perfect recipe for an extreme weather event. Beijing became an atmospheric funnel, pulling in moisture and dumping it with an intensity that its designers never conceived of. We are no longer just experiencing weather, we are creating it. We are loading the dice for disaster with every ton of carbon we pump into the atmosphere.
所以真係人咯，那個平路的，哎吼，一平路真嚟。
The mountains surrounding the city told their own grim tale. Saturated by the downpour, their slopes gave way, unleashing ferocious flash floods and torrents of debris that surged into the city's already choked town. It was a two-part war, a flood from the sky and a flood from the land. The city's emergency protocols, though swift, were like trying to bail out the ocean with a bucket.
Streets.
What happened in Beijing is the blueprint for the future of our own cities if we fail to act. Look at our own sprawling metropolises, our concrete canyons and vast stretches of asphalt. We have systematically removed nature's ability to protect itself, and by extension, to protect us. We have built in floodplains and paved over wetlands, all while pretending we are immune. The deluge of Beijing is a lesson written in the terrifying language of floodwater. It teaches us that our complex, vertical, and interconnected world is also incredibly fragile. It shows us that the climate crisis is not a distant, abstract threat. It is here. It is knocking down our doors. It is flooding our subways and turning our streets into rivers. Cities with more green spaces, protected wetlands, and restored rivers. We must aggressively transition to clean energy and hold polluters accountable. This is not a political issue, it is a survival issue. The next storm is coming. The only question is whether we will have the wisdom to heed the warning from a drowning city.